So you need you a good lick to work on some Eric Johnson style chord triads, hybrid picking, and chord construction all at the same time? Got it. Hey there kids, and welcome to this week's episode of Weekend Wankshop here with your good buddy, Uncle Ben. Any of you guys that know me know that I like things that are nice, and Eric Johnson's chord triad work that he puts into his lead playing is definitely nice. There's a lot of other guys that use these kind of licks too, like my man Andy Wood, but Eric Johnson is always the guy that I think about whenever I think of a guy that uses chord triads across string skipping groups in really cool ways in his soloing. So in order to get you guys a piece of the action, I came up with a cool lick that incorporates all the diatonic triads in the key of C so that you guys can get those underneath your fingers and start hybrid picking around them and stuff like that, getting some ideas going on, and learn a little bit about the construction of those chords at the same time. But before we get into it, let's hear it again at stepdad speed. And of course, you can find a complete tab for this week's lick over on my Instagram page, which you can find at BenEllerGuitars. Find this week's lick, learn how to play it, and upload a video of yourself shredding through it along with the hashtag Weekend Wankshop. Okay, so for starters, this lick uses all the diatonic triads in the key of C. Now what that term diatonic means is that it's all the triads that would naturally appear in the key of C. In other words, I'm never going outside of the C major scale, borrowing any notes that aren't already in the scale to make any of these chords. These are the ones that appear all wholesome, non-GMO, no artificial flavorings or preservatives. They're just right there in the key. The first one that we run into here is a C major. We're going to play that by playing the 5th fret B string here with our middle finger on the right hand, a little hybrid picking. Then you're going to upstroke the 5th fret D, and then upstroke the 3rd fret A. So that's 5th B, 5th D, 3rd A. Now whenever you're playing this is a C major. And this is your root note, C. This is the 3rd note of the C scale, which is an E. And this is the 5th note of the C scale, which is a G. So underneath your fingers right now, you have root, 3rd is down here, and 5th. 5th is easy to remember because it's like a power chord. So root, 3rd, 5th. All of our other chord types we're going to use, minor and diminished, are merely variations on this sort of blank canvas chord shape right here. So be sure to remember that as you're holding this down, it's not just 3 and 5 and 5. It's root of something, 3rd of something, and 5th of something. This will help you whenever you start trying to memorize what these other chords are constructed out of and what their shapes look like. So after we play C major, we're going to move up to D minor. Now you're going to start off here by putting your first finger on the root note D. Then you're going to play the 7th fret D string here. And you're going to play the 6th fret on the B. Now, if you compare this shape to that shape, the one that we started with, sort of the blank canvas major shape, you'll notice that instead of being root and 3rd and 5th, like the major chord was, this D minor chord is root and the 3rd has been lowered, right? It's a flattened 3rd, root, flat 3rd, 5th. This is what minor chords are made out of. So in other words, you could take that C major and turn it to C minor simply by flattening the 3rd. This is a really important thing to learn here, guys, because a lot of us just learn chord shapes. And once you learn a shape, all you can do is play that one shape. But if you understand that the difference between taking a C major and a C minor is just flattening that 3rd, then you can get some really cool ideas going on with your chord playing. So again, whenever we play D minor, we're playing root, 5th, flat 3rd. So now we've played this, C major, D minor. Next is E minor. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this middle finger note you just played, move up a whole step to the 8th fret on the B string, 9th fret D, 7th fret A string. Now again, this is root, 5th, and flat 3rd of an E minor chord. So now we've ended up in this position. Following this, we're going to play F major. So what we're going to do is we're going to move into F, which is right here on the 8th fret. And we're going to make a major chord. So remember what the major chord shape was. It was like this, right? 5th and 3rd. So we're going to go from E minor to F major. After this, what we're going to do is go into G major. So what we're going to do is just move all this stuff up a step. 12th fret B, fret, 12th fret D, 10th fret A. Again, root, 5th, and 3rd. That's why this is major. If it was like this, it'd be minor, right? So far we've had C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major. Up next is going to be an A minor chord, so find the root note A and use the minor chord formula, which had a flattened 3rd and a 5th on it. Just like that. So we ended up playing 12th fret A, 14th fret D, 13th fret B. Now the next chord type is something a little bit different here. So far we've had major, which had root 3rd, 5th, minor, which had root flat 3rd, 5th. On the B note here, 14th fret A string, we're going to play a diminished chord. Now you remember how we said how like a major is 1, 3, 5, a minor is 1 flat 3, 5. Well, a diminished has a 1, a flat 3, and a flat 5. So in other words, kind of your normal 3rd and your normal 5th were here, right? Well, they're going to get flattened to make a diminished chord. Now as far as frets goes, that means we're going to be playing 15th fret B, 15th fret D, and 14th fret on the A string. There's your root note. Now again, when you play this, there's root, there's a lowered 5th, a flat 5, and there's your lowered 3rd. That gives you a B diminished chord. After this, I simply resolved it all by moving up 1 fret with that root note to the 15th fret A string, which is our root note of C again, which means we come a full lap from where we started. C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, B diminished, C. Now let's give you a good right-hand view on what's happening with the picking. Again, all the B string notes are going to be played with the middle finger, and then your A and D strings are going to be played with the pick. So I end up playing it hybrid, up, up, down, down, hybrid, hybrid, up, up, down, down, hybrid, hybrid, up, up, down, down, hybrid, hybrid, up, up, down. Just like that. And be sure with the left hand here to really articulate these notes one at a time. This won't work if you just hold it down like a chord. You know, all the notes really blend together then. That's not what we're after. You want to squeeze each note down until the nanosecond that it's time to pick the next note. Basically, you should only be hearing one note at a time here with no bleed over. So there you go, guys. A cool lick and some chord construction knowledge to give you something to grow on here. Try putting that into different keys too. So in other words, if you want to try to play all the triads in the key of, let's say, D, start that entire sequence out from D. You end up with D major, E minor, F sharp minor, G major, and so on. Try putting that into different keys. Also try using what you learned about chord construction today, those roots and thirds and fifths and all that jazz, to maybe try modifying some of your favorite chord or arpeggio shapes, because arpeggios are chords, kids, and all manner of other ideas. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to go like my new Facebook fan page over at facebook.com/UncleBenEller. You guys can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at BenEllerGuitars. If you're interested in booking some one-on-one Skype lessons with me to get deep on theory and technique and stuff, drop me an email, BenEllerGuitars@gmail.com. Thanks again so much for watching. Stay tuned for another sick lick next week. Cheers.